All right. Bulldog, I listened to you earlier this week, and you were saying that Mantse has every right to come out and speak on this matter, even though he's been castigated for the channel with which he used to call out Obrafour. Why did you say that?
I think he owns this very suit. I mean, rests on his lap. This is his intellectual property. Now, with intellectual property, whether you were paid for the work or not, you still own it. Nobody can pay for your mind. It's just like creating beats. Anybody who creates the beats, once even if you pay for the beats, you just hide the beats. You understand? But intellectually, it's the person who composed the beats who owns it for life. And that's why we have split sheets.
Okay.
You understand? So even if Obrafour paid Mantse for this work, Mantse owns the intellectual property. Mantse is a co-writer. You understand? So when you come to split sheets, and like the lawyer said, if Obrafour has registered this song solely for him, that's theft.
Is it?
Yes, to start with. Because when you go there are co-writers, and in the split sheets, everybody needs to make their money. Now, when we talk about writing or composition in music, it's not just about the people writing the lyrics. The people playing the beats are composers as well. You understand? So everybody in there gets a bite of the cake. You understand? And especially in this sampling, whatever it is Mantse's voice that we hear clearly. So Obrafour has no right, and Mantse is right.
But if you look at page 11 of the documents, the lawsuit, it says that in connection with his release of Etitiepa, which is the album that Oyohene finds itself, it says that Obrafour registered his exclusive copyrights in and to the copyrighted work of Oyohene under Ghanaian copyright law and procedure. And next here, as Exhibit B, is an official confirmation of the copyright letter dated 18th October 2022 from Gamro. Then beyond that, he also registered it in the US as well. So he says that he did so in accordance with American copyright law and procedure as confirmed in the United States. You are saying that if he went ahead to do all this without including the other people who worked on the album, it is theft?
Okay, so you see, when you're registering, we have the masters and we have the IP. Masters is the sound recording, you understand?
Yeah.
So that is more like mechanical rights. So anytime you sell, so let's just say Obrafour has been selling this song for how many years? He doesn't need to give Mantse anything. You know, he doesn't owe Mantse anything. But when it comes to using Mantse's voice, that's where intellectual property comes in. And when you're selling mechanical rights, you don't own it. But when it comes to royalties, there's something we call split sheets.
Okay.
So on the split sheet, everybody that was involved in doing the work need to have their bite. But I'm sure that at that time that they did the work, there were no split sheets.
Okay.
But it doesn't even negate the fact that the Mantse, whoever participated, doesn't deserve. If today there are split sheets, they should go on. Mantse needs a publisher to make sure they claim whatever it is that belong to him. As I speak to you, I'm sure Hammer is claiming royalties from this. So why can't Mantse? Why can't Tiny? Why can't the girl who did the hook?
Yeah.
Everybody needs to. So when it comes to intellectual property, it belongs to whoever did the thing for life, whether you pay them to do it or not. So that's what it is. I think that's what we should move away from mechanical rights into intellectual property. That's where we can actually lay bare the matter itself.
Okay.
And that's why Mantse can come and say, hey, you don't own this thing.
I see.
Yes.
Let's continue our entertainment conversation now. Still in the studios, I have Baba Sadiq Abdullahi Abu. I also have Bulldog, and I have Dorothy Habada, and also Ibrahim Mohini Jan is still here with us. And earlier, we're talking to lawyer Nana, who was even saying that, first of all, the amount that Obrafour is asking for the compensation of $10 million is too high. And the other dimension of the conversation, too, is that if Mantse waited way too long, between 5 to 6 years, looking at the laws that govern IPP rights in Ghana and the US. If he waited beyond 5 to 6 years to lay claim on that phrase that was included in Obrafour's Oyohene track, he stands a chance of even losing this claim if he goes to court. Bulldog.
I mean, the lawyer is right, you know, because again, when the matter hits the courts, they're going to, first and foremost, they're going to look at the material to start with. They will not necessarily look at the players involved. You know, so you said, I stole something from yours. And once I stole it, I must have made money on it. So how much did I make? You understand? Now, and in this particular case, you can't even easily say theft when the person came knocking at your door. You know, it's just that you didn't respond early. But also, it doesn't give the person the right to now go ahead and do what they so they breached. So the court will look at where the people actually made an attempt to speak to you, to reach out to you, you know, and then they'll consider all these things. Again, the lawyer that spoke, you see, some people say the law is an ASS because it lies in the bosom of just one person. So they will hear the argument. So on the day, they'll look at all the facts in front of them, listen to the arguments, and now they will decide. You know, and what they decide is what.
But there's a jury, so also remember that the decision also lays on the jury
but I don't know whether in this particular or specific case there will be a jury. You understand? Juries are usually on specific cases like murder and all that stuff. I don't know about this one.
Okay.
You know, so it's really arguments of the two lawyers and evidence that they put out in court and how they are able to state their claim. And then the recipient of the information, that's the judge, will now decide. So look, we might just get to the court and they'll say, hey, Charlie, we won't give you anything safe. Then we are back to square one, you know, but all these things are conjecture. I mean, for me, I want this case to travel so we learn from it and the whole industry learns from it. Then we know where we will go from here.
What are you hoping we learn from this matter? Again,
Obrafuor, you know, again, we were talking about sound recording, we're talking about IP. These two are different things that we need. People are bundling it up together. So once we go into court, we'll realize what it is and who owns what. And whether, like, again, the $10 million, look, to start with, America won't allow $10 million to come to Ghana easily.
Yeah, but if we make our claim and we make it right.
Oh, well, they won't. $10 million is not small money. You traveled. I mean, Abraham will say that, look, when you go to the States, even if you have $5,000, you have to show papers where you got them from. It's not like Ghana that, you know, everybody, the dollar, they throw dollar. So to carry that money, they won't allow. They'll do some, Uncle Sam will find a way to let you come and spend the money there. So that's also a factor.